Well, if you're anything like me, you're probably ready to start building the kit. Sitting here reading the manual and looking at it is not my favorite thing, so let's get started here. First thing we're going to do, as it says in the directions here, let's take a look at the top, and it says to open bag A. So we've opened up bag A. When you do open bags, make sure that you do get everything out of the bag before you throw it away. I've thrown away parts, little things, and not noticed that before, so make sure your bags are empty. I've also got a little magnetic tray, or you can use a dish or a plate or something to keep all of the parts that are in an open bag away so that you don't lose them and they're in a handy place for you before you start working on your part of the directions that need them. So I always have this little tray. It's always off screen, but that holds my parts that we're not using. So we've opened bag A. We are going to also have to open the plastics bag A, but that's not until the second step, so we'll do that here in a little bit. So what I've done is I've taken out all the pieces and parts that we're going to need. I followed the directions here. You can see that we've taken out 4 of the screws, which are a 2mm by 10mm screw, and as I said earlier, they do match up 1-to-1 in size with what's on the direction. So if you ever get confused or don't know what screw, you can always just match it up to the photograph that's on the picture. We've got a couple of little E-clips here. We've got 2 smaller spider gears. We have 4 O-rings. We've got 2 of the 13-tooth spider gears, which are larger. We've also got a 38-tooth bevel gear, and we have, what else here, a 13-tooth beveled gear. And there are 2 little set screws here. Okay, we'll use those in a later one. I just haven't set those out yet, but those are not in the first part that we're going to start building. We've also got some 20,000 CST diff fluid. We've got some drive cups, 2 of them. We have a cross pin, which is here on the directions. Bump the camera. And then we also have the diff cup, which is a plastic part. However, it was contained in the bag A, not in the plastics bag. Since this is my tutorial, we're going to go ahead and substitute the factory bearings that are in this bag, which feel free to use them, with the FastEddy bearings full Axial Yeti sealed bearing kit. And these are available from our website at FastEddyBearings.com. Come in a reusable bag, so we're going to go ahead and lots of bearings in this. We're going to go ahead and pull out 2 of the 10x15s as stated in the directions, and 2 of the 5x11s. Let's see how good my eyeballs are here. Look at that. 1 5x11 and a second 5x11. We can put all of them back in the reusable bag here. Caught those before they rolled off the table. We're all good. Make sure the floor is clean by you. When you start building, in case you do drop something on the floor, you can easily find it because it happens more than we would like. We'll go ahead and set that off set so we can use it later. Alright, so where are we going to start? We're going to start on the first portion of the directions up here. And we're going to start by getting a drive cup. And we are going to put one of the little O-rings on there. Whenever you're using O-rings, it's always a good idea to lubricate them before you put them in. This is extremely thick fluid at 20,000 K. So, I'm laughing. I've used this kind of bottle before, and because it's so thick and this hole is so small, I'm going to recommend that you take off this little nub here and put it off to the side. Be careful because it does have some silicone on there and you don't want it to drip on something that it doesn't belong on. So we're just going to take a little bit of the diff fluid and put it on our finger, just a small amount, not much. I guess it helps to actually get some on there. Just be careful because you don't want a whole bunch. We're going to go ahead and just lubricate all of those little O-rings at one time, which one I just dropped on the floor. So go ahead and lubricate those up, and we'll grab the other one here. Hold on, we'll be right back. Let me go grab that little one that fell on the floor so I don't lose it. Alright, well, I found our little gasket on the floor and I cleaned up my floor. Took my own advice so that I could find things easier when we do drop them. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit and get to building. Okay, let's start by taking the little O-ring that we lubricated a minute ago. We're going to slip it over the shaft on the drive cup, just like so. And we're going to slide it into the closed end of the diff cup. We have an open end and a closed end, just like so. Make sure it's seated down in there, just like it is in the picture here. Except for we forgot our bearing. So let's take that back out. Take one of our 10 by 15 bearings and slide it over, and then put this in. So it looks like that. Turn it around. And on the inside, we need to slide one of the little O-rings over the cup shaft, which sometimes can be a little bit more difficult than it seems. And that's where little tools come in. Now that it's in there and on, we're going to press it down so that it seats down inside the little depression that's there. See if you can see it down inside there. And then as we look at the directions here, we're going to take one of the bevel gears and we're going to use one of the larger ones that has the little flat spots on the shaft here. I'm going to drop that down in, put our finger on it, and rotate the cup around until that slides on and drops down onto the shaft. I have a feeling this next part is going to be the trickiest part of this whole build, and it's going to require tools. And what we're going to do is take one of the little E-clips and we're going to slide it over the end, as you can see on the directions here, slide it over the end of this little shaft. They're after me. Okay, we're back from the phone call. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to try the impossible feat of getting this tiny little C-clip, which I cut my fingernail so it's hard to grab, down onto this little shaft and plugged in. So I'm going to try to do this on camera. We may have to go off camera. I just kind of dropped it in there and I'm going to position it on the edge of, this is like one of those little games with the BB to try to get through a hole. So, try this again. What I may end up doing here is putting a little diff fluid. Again, this is live, and you're going to see me make a fool out of myself more than once. So I'm going to put a little diff fluid on the wrench there and see if I can't get this dropped down into the proper place to put it on. Okay, you see how it's just kind of right on the end of the shaft there? And now I'm actually going to try to push it on. Not quite sure how that's going to work out. It doesn't work out. Okay, well, I'm going to continue to play with this off camera until I get it on, so we'll be right back.